Hello, everyone, and welcome back to episode 79 of Telepathy. Why are we like old?
Yeah, why are we like old?
For some reason, my first thoughts, like when starting this, are just like, what is it going to be like when we get canceled and people come back to this episode and comment like that aged poorly, or like this aged like fine wine?
Yeah, or
when
like
Telepathy gets canceled,
or like this
in 20
aged
years.
like milk.
Yeah, no, people always say that though. This aged like fine wine when somebody gets canceled and they come back to a post where they're like. Anyways, if it wasn't obvious, our episode today is on cancel culture. We're just going to be talking about the evolution of cancel culture. Is cancel culture still real? Is cancel culture, is cancel culture canceled? That was a lot. That was a mouthful.
Yes, indeed. But before we get into that, we're going to do our icebreakers, which we always do if you've been a part of Telepathy, of the Telepathy community.
So true.
So today's camp question, it is my turn. It's going to be name, age, and if you could learn any language, what would it be? And
okay.
And today is a telepathy
style
camp question.
Okay.
Which
that's fine.
If you've been here before, that means that we like guess. We basically like answer it for the other person, and then we say if we're right or not.
Yes.
Okay,
so I'm going to introduce myself as Anna. So hi, I'm Anna. I'm 22. And honestly, because I love Europe so much, I really want to learn French because I want to live there when I'm older. Possibly, perhaps.
Yes, that is correct.
I'm correct? Okay, yay.
You actually answered that better than I did because I like...
Wait, my name is Anna. I'm 22. Is Irish a language? No,
actually it is. And that has to do with my movie shout out, which we'll get into later.
Okay.
Okay.
No, I know. I was gonna, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Who are you?
Hi, my name is Enzo. I'm 17. You're 17, right? 16?
Yes. Okay. Oh my gosh. You can't even get that part right. No, I'm just kidding.
I've like lost track because in my mind, you're not actually 17. It's 17, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I turned 18. I turned 18 in April.
Yeah. Okay.
Which is terrifying.
I like knew that, but I've started to second guess myself because like, why are you 17?
Second guess.
What?
Billie Eilish and Charlie XCX should make a part 2 called Second Guess.
That's good.
I'm sorry. I literally was just like, we need to make the intro shorter. And then here I am talking about shit like this. Okay. Who are you?
My name's Enzo. I'm 17. And if I could learn any language, I mean, I kind of already know a little bit of this language, but I want to learn more Italian because my dad is Italian. And I just feel like I should know it better so I can talk to my nonna and, you know, like talk to my cousins and all that.
You're absolutely correct. I suffer from second child syndrome, meaning that my sister, when she was a tiny little tot, she was spoken a lot of Italian too. And then when the second child rolled around, my dad got a little bit lazier. And so I don't know as much Italian, but I do want to learn. So you are indeed correct. So now moving on to our music and TV shout outs from this week. Do you want to go first? And you can also explain where to find.
Actually, do you want to go first? Because I haven't pulled up my music shout outs yet.
Oh, yes. I literally have 3 music shout outs. Hold on.
Wait, I think I do too.
I feel like we get more music shout-outs every week, but...
It's okay. Like, the fans need to know. I have too many good ones. Maybe we'll have a few overlapping, ? Maybe not.
Possibly. This first one, wait. Abracadabra, Lady Gaga?
Yes, yeah. I knew it.
So good.
I genuinely...
It's really nostalgic.
Yes. I genuinely think this is one of her best songs.
I agree. And, like, the production in the car. It sounds so good. My second musical shout out. Well, I mean, I guess this is a musical shout out. Funny Honey from Chicago. Guys, Chicago is like every day it moves up one step on my favorites list. I need to see the show live, but the movie was so good. I'm like, why is this like, how many more times do I have to watch it before it's in Letterboxd top 4? I don't know. And then my last one is Honeymoon by the Oracle Sisters. Aside from the 2 other songs I shouted out, I have been listening to the Oracle Sisters for the past 48 hours straight, I swear. So, and I also saw them live, and the drummer offered me a strawberry after the show, and I ate it. So, how many people can say that? Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. I need to like listen to them a bit more. I know that they released like
so good.
They're releasing an album in like a week, so I'm
so excited.
I know I'll get like really into them once that comes out. Yeah. Okay. My music shout out. Number 1 was Abracadabra. Number 2 is Nosebleeds by Doechii, which is the song that she released like at midnight after the Grammys. Have you listened to this, Enzo?
I haven't, but I actually
It's really
love
good.
Doechii. I'm really happy for her.
It's some of it is giving a bit Nicki Minaj, like Roman, not like in a copying way, but like just in a she's really good way.
Yeah, and I hate to be like the toxic Barb or whatever, but in a lot of her music, it's like I don't know if this is too much to say, but it is evident that Nicki Minaj is kind of an inspiration.
Yeah. But that's a good
like just
thing.
with like the theatrical elements of it.
Yeah, but it's better to have Nicki Minaj as an inspiration than Nicki Minaj as a competitor.
Oh, for sure. Well, I
Like-
mean, she's never a competitor. She's always
But
just
just
the top
like-
of the food chain. So
At least they're not like in a feud, you know?
right, but also like credit where credit is due. But like also she is doing things and winning things. So it's like this is her moment.
Anyways, this song is really good because it's like, it's about like what she would have done if the lyric is basically like what would she have done if she didn't win? I guess we'll never know, and it's like pretty iconic because it's like we'll never know because she did win.
I know now Sabrina Carpenter is I think releasing a deluxe.
Yes.
It's like thank God they won because this stuff would just be in the ball
Yeah.
awkwardly. But
And then my third song shout out, unfortunately, yes, the third song shout out. We have 6 today. It's set 5, I guess. Inhaler just released a new song like an hour or 2 ago called Billy, Yeah, Yeah, Yeah.
wait, so how many singles do they have from their new album?
Like literally 4. And then one more of them that hasn't come out is one I already heard on tour. And then another one that's not out is another one they were playing on tour, but one that I haven't heard. So basically there's only like 4 new songs. But
They just need to send you the album because you've already got it all.
yeah, but their album comes out tomorrow night. So I'm very excited. I can't believe
Yay.
like I can feel it in the air. You know, the weather is so nice that I'm like, yes, it's time for a new Inhaler album. But anyways, stream that because it will be out when this podcast comes out. And I'm sure it's very good. Okay, and then movie and TV shout out.
No lo tengo.
I
don't have it.
I watched a movie last night for the first time in a while because I like was really tired and I was just like, okay, I'm clocking out from school today. I'm just gonna watch a movie. There's this Irish band called Kneecap that I've been listening to for a bit. They're like they're like hip hop, but they rap.
Oh wait, that's cool.
But they rap in the Irish language, which is like a dying language. There's only 6,000, I learned this in the movie. There's only 6,000 people in Northern Ireland that still speak Irish. And
oh wow.
and they are 3 of them. There are 3 of those people. So they like rap in the Irish language. And I've been listening to them for like a year now, maybe, because they have a song with Fontaines DC. And but they released this movie that's kind of like a biopic about how they started, but most of it like isn't true. It's almost like a fictional like origin story. So it's kind of interesting, but it's like really creative and different, and they're just like cool. So I enjoyed it, and it's kind of centered around the fact that like they are trying to revive the Irish language with their music. So
Wait, that does remind me super, super quickly. But so you say biopic. I've always said biopic for some reason. Like why?
yeah,
And then also, I realized in the last episode I was talking about, or was it last, or maybe the one before, I was talking about Mac Miller's new album, and I was like, oh, it's his second posthumous album. And I said it like multiple times too. It's posthumous.
oh really?
Yeah, and I sat there so confidently, and I was like, his second posthumous album.
I've
That
never
sounded
yeah.
so dumb, but you know what?
I've never heard it said posthumous, but I guess that makes sense.
That's why I was talking about it to my mom, and then she was like, you mean posthumous? I was like, why did I think it was that? She was like, I thought it was that when I was your age. And I was like, okay, girl.
No, yeah,
Anyways,
I've heard people
any-
say biopic, and it makes sense kind of if you look at the spelling and say it like, yeah, but it's a biographical picture, so like it is biopic.
Right, so that
yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah.
But anyways, who knows nowadays? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
So anything happened this week that was exciting?
Not really. I've just been doing the normal stuff, but You guys come to Savannah in 2 days, so I'm excited for that.
Yes. I want to do like, I kind of want to film some sort of video there.
Oh yeah. Oh, the dress to impress. We should do that. Enzo is currently fixing the microphone. If you do want to listen to any of our telepathy music, not like our music, but our music shout outs, you can go to our Instagram at
Listen to my music.
we can go to our Instagram at the Telepathy Pod. There's a little highlight called Telepathy Playlist, and we have a link to the playlist. So yes.
I have a voice again. Okay. That was scary. For like a solid 2 seconds, my microphone thing was about to just like fall from the thing. So
it looks like it's falling again. Also, guys, if you didn't know, if you were watching the video version of this episode, which are now here to stay and permanent, I got bangs again. I cut my bangs.
Mama, a bang behind you. Okay. Guys, we're good.
Mama, a bang on your forehead.
Okay, I'm not going to touch the mic again. Sometimes this podcast non-existent budget shows. Anyways, so I don't really have a week recap either. So should we just get into cancel culture?
Yes, we should. What is cancel culture?
What is cancel? Like, what are the origins of cancel culture? Do you know what I mean? Like, what was the first time in your life where you think you saw a celebrity being canceled?
Wait, that's a really good question.
Because I'm trying to think.
I would
When was like the Will Smith slap? No, it was not then. Was it James Charles and Tati?
For me, I feel like it was Logan Paul.
You're so right. The forest thing?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh my God. I forgot about that. And literally that's like something to talk about in this episode is like how you forget about things. And
yeah,
I think it would be interesting to talk about the PR thing. And we can get into this, but I gave ChatGPT an interesting prompt. I said that I'm a part of a PR team and what do you recommend that we do for a canceled celebrity?
Wait, you know what we need to also talk about is the Blake Lively stuff.
Oh, is she like, I've heard all this stuff. I feel like the whole public perception of her is turning,
yes,
you know?
Exactly. This is actually such a great, I just watched like a 45-minute video about this yesterday. So I have some
oh my God.
knowledge. See, I knew the stuff would flow. Like I didn't take notes for this episode, but I knew that as soon as we started talking, I would have examples. So we can get into that like a bit later in the episode. But yeah, so like what were kind of like your thoughts on this topic, I guess, from the bird's eye view?
Okay, the thing with cancel culture is I think you need to find a good, healthy medium. I feel like there's a lot of people who somebody will breathe and it's like, oh my God, canceled, unfollowed, blocked. And then there's also a lot of times where somebody will do something that's genuinely problematic and everyone's like, oh, cancel culture nowadays. Like they really just trying to cancel everybody.
Yeah.
And then you have celebrities who are uncancelable. And I truly believe that this is a thing because there are people who they have ended up scandal after scandal a year after everybody's forgotten about it. And it's almost like it's like you reach notorious status to the point where it's kind of like, this is actually so weird, but it's like everybody can acknowledge that you're problematic, but it's weirdly socially acceptable for you to be supported because it's like, oh, you're just in the problematic celebrity category.
Yeah.
Which is kind of messed up. But I think that
yeah,
there's a lot of times too where it's like a bandwagon thing, you know? And I think that that's why this can be a problem and why the comment sections get ugly so fast is because people love drama is the truth. So if you have a celebrity who is getting canceled for something, suddenly you have all these people who didn't care about the celebrity a week ago. They didn't listen to their music. They didn't watch any movies they were in. They didn't watch their content, whatever. And now suddenly they're in their comment section like, yeah, screw you for doing that. Right. And so that's why it's like bandwagon hate. And a lot of the times too, people are comfortable hating when it's, once again, the bandwagon effect and everybody around you is hating. And so I think that's why people think that it's okay sometimes to say hurtful things because it's like, yeah, like you did this, like you need to not have a platform and never be on the internet again. And then it's like, at the end of the day, you're still talking to a human being. And then this person will take like genuine accountability maybe. And then everybody's like, we're done with you. We don't care anymore because there's no drama. Or they quote unquote apologize in the wrong way, which is why it's like apologies are sometimes inauthentic because it's like the thing that you have to do. So now it's like,
and
is it sincere?
I feel like there's definitely examples where people have apologized in the wrong way. For example, like Colleen Ballinger, her ukulele one, like I think that made her, it made it even worse. Like she got even more canceled. Like for example, I didn't know that she was canceled until I saw the ukulele video, and then like she just has been even worse in my mind since then.
I will say I don't know what was going through brains when that said video was posted, because put
like,
the ukulele down. Anyways, keep going.
But in terms of like uncancelable celebrities, I almost feel like what is her name? Why did I just blank on her name?
Trisha Paytas?
Yes. Yes, Trisha Paytas.
Wait, Trisha Paytas this is a good thing about having telepathy.
Like,
I agree.
like she said some things that if another person had said, I feel like they would be immediately canceled. But because it's Trisha Paytas, like, we just know that that's how she is. Like, she just doesn't care.
I will say, obviously, I can't excuse any of her behavior, and I can't like accept apologies on behalf of various communities from her early career and stuff, because I know that was a mess. But I will say that in the past few years, she's been less problematic than maybe half of the people on the internet. And I know that is probably controversial to say, but I mean, I think she's authentic, and that's why when you hear her say something bad, you know it's authentic, but when you hear her apologize, you know it's authentic.
Yeah.
So it's like, I feel like it's a good thing, but I feel like sometimes you'll see when something is coming out of somebody's mouth and it really seems like their true colors are showing, and then they back it up and they're apologizing, but then it's kind of like, okay.
I feel like there's like some things that she says though that she just genuinely doesn't mean, because she can be kind of like stupid sometimes, to where people
like
don't,
they're kind of like naive, like, oh, I don't know, that was offensive.
Yeah, like people give her an excuse almost. Like, I don't even know if this is a good example, but the time when she was like, do I think I'm trans? Yes. Do I feel comfortable in the gender that I was assigned at birth? Also, yes.
Do I identify as transgender? 1,000%. Do I identify as my natural born gender? 1,000%. Like, I kind of like how that's been made into a meme.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it's simply an ironic statement, and that's what's funny about it.
And like, obviously she didn't mean to like say anything offensive. I think she just has this thought in her head that like she can't express in words that doesn't make sense, you know? Like, I feel like sometimes she's just thinking things that nobody's like, nobody knows what the heck she's talking about.
Yeah. Anyways, should we look at ChatGPT's guide on how to get us uncanceled?
Yes. I love that.
Because I was kind of wondering like what PR teams do, because I will say there's sometimes I think about it in the grand scheme of things, where I'll think about a celebrity who got into a scandal in the previous year, and then a year will pass and maybe I'll see this person's post. The comments are clean. Everybody's hyped for their new music suddenly, or whatever they're doing. Mm-hmm. And then I think back to the scandal and I'm like, oh my God, like everyone moved on from that. Mm-hmm. And it's not even like, a lot of times I don't care about this celebrity. So it's not like, I'm like, why are we still not canceling them? Like, I really don't care. Like I'm not interested in what they're doing, but I'll look at it from like a PR perspective or like marketing. I think like, wow, like whoever was working behind the scenes, genius, I fear, because we all moved on. And maybe it's because the internet is stupid, but it's like there's people who know the internet is stupid and know how to pull the strings. So I think that that's really interesting. Mm-hmm. But here's ChatGPT's step on how to basically get you uncanceled if you're a PR team. Step 1 is assess the situation, understand the controversy, identify what happened, who's affected, and how severe the backlash is. That's interesting. It's like instead of reflecting on what was said, reflect on the backlash. So like, what are people saying to this? That's interesting.
That is
Monitor
interesting.
public sentiment, so track media coverage, social media discussions, and influencer reactions. Which is, it's kind of like, I feel like in old 2000s movies when the popular girl, like something is happening to her and all of her little friends, they're not just immediately comforting her. They're going around to everyone else and seeing what they're saying and trying to change the narrative.
Yeah, no, yeah.
So that's kind of funny.
This seems more like caring about what other people think rather than caring about the fact that you actually said something bad.
Right. So what I'm hearing is that Gretchen Wieners is actually Regina's PR team. Like, I feel like PR teams are like the Gretchen Wieners.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Step 2, craft an authentic response. So acknowledge the issue if they were in the wrong. A carefully worded statement talking responsibly.
Okay, wait. The words craft and authentic next to each other are kind of funny if you think about it, because it's like, if it's authentic, you shouldn't have to craft it. You should just speak from the heart.
Right. I mean, but I guess it is a PR, like this is advice to a PR team. So if you are crafting it, like this is your client here.
Right.
That's insane. Okay. If they were in the wrong, a carefully worded statement taking responsibility is crucial. Avoid excuses. Okay. Apologize genuinely. A robotic or overly scripted apology won't work. It should feel personal and show understanding of the harm caused. So it should feel personal. So it's like, this is basically performing. Like you're still acting.
Yeah.
Just trying to be more raw. Okay. Clarify misunderstandings if the backlash stems from misinformation. Provide factual clarifications without sounding defensive. I love a lot of this is like avoid excuses, don't sound offensive. Like you're really catering to your audience. Like that's the main goal is because right now the people are mad at you, but you need their support and their validation. So you're going to say anything to get their support back. That makes sense. Okay, there's 5 steps to this. So step 3, take meaningful action, demonstrate accountability. Actions speak louder than words. It's very true. This could involve donating to relevant causes, engaging in community service, or attending educational workshops. Okay. But make sure you post about your donation, guys.
If we ever see someone following these exact steps, we're going to know that they searched on ChatGPT, like how to get uncanceled.
Literally, POV, you see Telepathy gets canceled, and then we're posting in our story, like, just donated $2 because we have no budget, guys.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, next up. Avoid performative activism. Clock it. Any actions taken should feel sincere, not like damage control. A lot of apologies, sometimes it does give damage control. It's kind of like, oh, the internet's mad at me. And it's like going person to person and being like, guys, I didn't do anything. I didn't do it. Yeah. Anyways. Control the narrative moving forward. Media strategy. Secure thoughtful interviews with reputable journalists who allow space for an honest conversation rather than a PR stunt. So you want people who aren't going to tear you to shreds and ask about the next burning headline. You want people to ask you, well, what happened? So you can give the full story, aka take media control.
Yeah.
Anyways, rebrand over time, shift the focus to their work, values, and contributions beyond the controversy. And then the social media strategy, stay low key at first, then gradually return with content that aligns with the more mature and mindful image.
Yeah. I mean.
And then, the final one is, know when to take a step back. If the backlash is irreparable, a temporary break from the spotlight might be necessary.
Yeah, that's true. Because honestly, sometimes I feel like if you take enough of a step back, people might forget. Not everyone, but some people might forget. Like, for example, I feel like Logan Paul kind of disappeared for a while after his cancellation. And then he kind of like, is Logan Paul the one that's been doing the fighting, the boxing?
That was Jake Paul. But what's interesting is, do you remember the movie The Thinning that he was in? Or like, do you remember like at least hearing about it? It was like the YouTube Red or movie or whatever. But I think that came out a year after or something. So I think that that's kind of interesting that like big scandal happens, maybe takes a step back from vlogging. Suddenly he's in a movie.
Yeah. Interesting. I don't think I knew about that.
The Thinning is actually really good.
Really?
I think that like Leah Marie John, I don't know her name, but she was in it too. I think Peyton List also. Why this movie was so good for no reason.
I feel like I can like overview the Blake Lively stuff now.
Yes, please do, because I just talked for like 3 minutes. No, like probably more than that. So please enlighten us.
So basically so I watched this video the other day about just like the full overview of the scandal, and it was really interesting. So basically what happened was Blake Lively was in It Ends With Us with Justin Baldoni, and there was all this kind of like suspicious stuff happening around the time of the press tour because Justin Baldoni wasn't a part of the press tour, and he was just kind of like doing almost his own press tour. He wasn't really doing interviews, I don't think. He might have been doing some, but he wasn't like in red carpet pictures with anyone, or in the same interviews as Blake and Colleen Hoover. So people were like, wait, there's something up, like there's something really suspicious about like this. So then people started jumping to conclusions about like this was so people started jumping to conclusions anti-Blake, pro-Justin Baldoni, because Blake Lively was making all of the interview questions and like she was basically centering the whole theme of the movie as more of a like a chick flick, like a fun romantic chick flick, rather than the fact that like It Ends With Us is about domestic abuse.
Like she's controlling the narrative.
Yeah, so she was controlling the narrative to make it more like, oh, like she said something like, bring your florals, bring your girlfriends, like come to this movie. Whereas in Justin Baldoni's press, he was like, yeah, I really wanted to make this movie about, to like shed light on domestic abuse and the fact that like, you know, maybe this will help somebody that can watch, come watch the movie and then they'll like realize that the situation they're in is really bad. So he was being more like, you know, making awareness of the fact that he wanted the movie to shed light on domestic abuse. But Blake Lively was like ignoring
original message.
Yeah. So Justin Baldoni was the director, and he also played Ryle, which is the main character that is the abuser.
He directed it?
Yeah.
Wait, that's so interesting.
Yeah. So anyways, so then people are like, okay, Justin Baldoni, like, you know, Blake Lively's being so annoying, and like, and then also like there's videos of Blake Lively being kind of like mean girl, like there's a scene in an interview where the interviewer was like, congrats on your baby bump to Blake Lively because she was pregnant, and then Blake Lively was like, congrats on yours, and the interviewer was just like not pregnant.
And didn't she have like a miscarriage or something like that?
Yeah, something like that. So it's just really awkward. Okay, so then, like, around Christmas time, I believe, all this stuff started coming out of Blake Lively suing Justin Baldoni, saying that he was, there were all these things and that he was, like, abusing her on set and doing all these things. And so Blake Lively had tried to become the producer of the movie, but Justin Baldoni like didn't let her or something like that. So then Blake Lively was saying all these things like, you know, he came into my van while I was breastfeeding, or like we didn't have an intimacy coordinator, and he was like being overly sexual with me, stuff like that. And she showed these receipts, which later we found out that they're fake.
What?
So then, like, a few weeks ago, Justin Baldoni released all these receipts he released all this info, just, like, completely saying that everything she was saying is false, which is, like, basically proven at this point. Like, it's so clear that he's in the right and Blake Lively's in the wrong. And she started all of this, drama because she wanted to be the producer and take charge, maybe even become the director of the second film. I don't know.
Oh my God. Wait, there's a second film?
Yeah, well,
there's a second book, obviously.
It starts with us. They're supposed to be making one, but I don't really know how this is going to work if like...
I don't know if we need that. I don't know if we need that. I didn't even see the first one, so I'm going to talk, but yeah.
So anyways, he showed the non-edited versions of all these receipts, like, no, she literally invited me into the van while she was breastfeeding. Or like, no, I said that I asked her if she wanted to meet with the intimacy coordinator that I found, and she said no, and that she didn't want an intimacy coordinator. So all this stuff. And he's suing like a bunch of people on the cast and crew. And they're also releasing a website with every single text thread from the movie, because they're just like, our info is right, and this will totally show that Blake Lively is in the wrong. So
it's
really
unsettling.
Interesting. So now everybody's kind of like anti-Blake Lively, because she was basically like throwing him under the bus so that she could get a higher seat in the film credits. There's all this other stuff too. Like, she locked him and his family in the basement during the premiere so that they couldn't see her edit, because she didn't like Justin Baldoni's edit. So she hired a different crew to make their own edit. And that's the one that went off to the premiere. And so she locked Justin Baldoni and his family in the basement so that they couldn't watch the premiere. Yeah.
He's the director. I'm sorry, but like...
Yeah.
That is insane. I did hear about like script changes and stuff like that. I also heard Taylor Swift getting brought into this. So I was like, guys...
I only
Like,
know that
Ariana, what are you doing here, Taylor Swift?
Yeah, I only know that Taylor Swift is part of it because she's friends. She's like really good friends with Blake Lively, but I don't know the details of anything like
I
that.
saw
I just
something about
wrapped my
Taylor
ear in.
Swift. Like, Blake Lively tried. Well, Blake Lively tried to use her as backup when making a script edit or whatever. So I don't even know the full story of that. But from the sounds of it, I'm kind of just like, Blake Lively, I think we should deal with this on our own and behind the scenes and not bring Taylor Swift
Yeah.
into it.
So there were these
So
videos of Blake Lively's PR team basically saying that like this is a really bad situation and they don't think she's like they think she's put her career and Ryan Reynolds' career in like a really bad spot. So
and also the state of this sequel, it's like,
yeah.
I mean, what's probably going to happen, I can't lie. I mean, they're both going to be in it. I just feel like somebody else is probably going to direct it just to get the attention. Like they're like, I could see a PR team paying a bunch of money to be like, okay, you're not directing this one. You're just going to act in it. We're getting a different director. Blake Lively is not going to produce it, but somebody else is going to direct it. And they're going to do the interviews and all of that. And then see if her career will, you know.
Yeah.
So it's just crazy. And I think that when you look at it from just like a marketing thing and like, I think a lot of PR teams and stuff like that, they don't really see it as, oh, this so-and-so is getting canceled. Like the internet doesn't like them. It's kind of more just like, oh, this person's brand is tarnished at the moment.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is,
exactly.
I mean, I guess that's like, if it's your job, you know, being in PR and all of that, do what you got to do. But I think it is interesting, I guess, just on like a smaller scale, when you look at YouTubers who have been canceled. For example, Bye Sister, the iconic, I think that's like probably the most iconic apology video on YouTube, maybe.
Yeah.
Or I guess that's more of an expose. Or, I mean, wait.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bye Sisters. That was the one that started the whole chain,
What did-
whatever. But
And
if you
James
look
Charles
at it-
made an apology video to that, right?
Well, initially he did. There was like the one recorded on the iPhone camera. And then there was the No More Lies, which is like his expose. And that was the one in the studio, reading all the receipts and all of that. Anyways, but I remember he came back, I think with just a casual, I think it was like a get ready with me, maybe like a little bit of a questionnaire, like after some time off of the internet. Just kind of like a little mini Q&A or whatever. And it was very lighthearted. It wasn't fully addressing just like the internet thing. It was trying, you know, come back with the more mature, lighthearted view. And then before you know it, he's back to making his normal videos.
Yeah.
2 years down the road, suddenly it's like, guys, yes, I was texting a 16-year-old. Or like, anyways, that is absolutely beyond me. But, you know, now I think we're at a point where James Charles has been on TikTok. He has had many viral moments that have nothing to do with him being canceled or any scandals. Therefore, he has like 40 million people in there that follow him. And so it's like, because he's had these viral TikToks again, it's like, okay, there's public support for him. And also I remember even during the election time, there was that video of him being like, guys, we are fucked, whatever, and all of that. And everybody's like, wait, why is he kind of funny? And then before you know it, people don't care anymore about what he was canceled for before, because he's funny and he's talking about this.
Yeah.
And then the internet moves on until he does something else. So it's kind of just this repetitive cycle.
Yeah, he
And-
actually has done a very good job at uncanceling himself, because I still watch his videos like the same amount as I did before, which is just like from time to time when he uploads something interesting to me. Like, I mean, recently I've loved his Dress to Impress videos, but like watching those, I have totally forgotten that he's been canceled. It's interesting though, because so there's like other things that other celebrities have done that are somewhat similar that like they haven't been canceled for. Like, have you heard of the Gracie Abrams quote unquote scandal? Because it's just like one
no,
thing.
I have not.
So some people believe she should be canceled because she, like maybe 3 years ago, she posted a picture of Finn Wolfhard from Stranger Things in like one of his earlier younger episodes. So he was probably like 13 and she was like 19.
Oh.
And her caption was something like if he wasn't wait, I want to find exactly what she said because it matters. And then the other hard part of her being canceled is just the fact that like a lot of people just think she's bad. Okay.
That's the thing though. Is like okay, wait,
actually,
sorry.
I found what she said, which okay. Oh, my phone's at 1%.
Yeah, the internet definitely picks and chooses though who to cancel and when, because I mean, also with Gracie Abrams, now you have all these people who never listened to her music and honestly didn't care for her music. And now they're like, well, yeah, I don't like her music. So like she did something like, cool, I'll jump on the bandwagon and be like, yeah. Gracie Abrams is canceled.
So she said, okay, it's actually not necessarily as bad as I thought because she was 17 and Finn Wolfhard was 18. Or sorry, 14. She was 17, Finn Wolfhard was 14. And she said like, she posted a picture of him in Stranger Things and said on her story, I know he's 14, or if he wasn't 14, I'd be so incredibly down.
It's icky.
And then people like, half of the internet thinks she should be canceled. Half of it is just like ignoring the fact. But the people who think she should be canceled are more of the haters that think that she's just like bad, which is kind of me. But
Yeah. See, the thing is, I think that we need to find a good place where, for example, me, I have never listened to Gracie Abrams. Like, I honestly couldn't tell you. Maybe I could name a song, or maybe if somebody played it, I'd be like, yeah, I've heard this. I don't listen to her music. I don't care for her music from what I've heard, like just like being in the car with people, whatever. Therefore, when she's being canceled right now, maybe if I come across a post or something, I'll read it and be like, oh, what's going on? But I'm not going to sit here and comment like, oh, I'm not supporting you anymore, because let's be honest, I wasn't supporting her in the first place. So why do I suddenly need to be like, you're a bad person? You know what I mean? I don't know. But also I do get when like certain artists will say something that maybe affects or like offends a certain community. And suddenly people who are like, okay, I wasn't a super big fan of you. Maybe I heard your music from time to time, but it's like, I am going to call you out for saying this because why are you saying that? Like, I totally understand that.
Right.
But I don't know. Even like Melanie Martinez, just for reference, like there was some pretty serious allegations back in 2017. Then they were proven not true, proven false, essentially. Then they kind of came back up. And then now, to my knowledge, she hasn't said anything. And it's like, it's kind of weird because, I mean, I get the need to want to handle this behind the scenes and maybe like, I don't know, get a lawyer and settle it with this person, because with such serious stuff like that, it's like, I don't know if it's the best idea to bring it to the internet. But then again, when you have people who have been supporting you for years, now they're hearing about this and people are posting like stuff about, once again, very serious allegations. I'm like, I think that just being silent, like that's a little bit, it's kind of icky.
Yeah.
And yeah, maybe there's people on your PR team being like, don't say anything, but just a little like, hey guys, we're working on this behind the scenes. Just let us deal with it. I'll say something soon. You know what I mean? Like even something like that.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I just think it's so interesting when very serious stuff is said and then these people are saying nothing. And I'm kind of like, if it were me personally, I would at least try to acknowledge something. I don't know.
Yeah. I have a little mini, what are your thoughts on?
Okay.
What are your thoughts on separating art from the artist?
Oh, I agree kind of, but also typically when people are saying that, it's to cover up something. It's to justify a problematic action.
But also like in the terms of like they're not problematic. Like for example, here's an example. It's like Carolina hates Taylor Swift because she hates her personality, not necessarily any specific cancelable things that she's done.
Yeah.
So like I feel like there's two ways of separating art from the artist. One is like if you don't like their personality but still liking their music, or there is the kind of like just covering up. Yeah, like what you're saying.
I think you shouldn't use problematic actions to straight up deny somebody's talent and somebody's previous impact. For example, I will say I don't really listen to Kanye West unless like maybe like a party playlist, like something like I don't actively search out Kanye West music because I don't love him as a person. Some of the stuff he said, it's icky, not a big fan.
Which
But
that can
I'm not
also
gonna sit
come
here.
through. I feel like that can sometimes come through in his music because sometimes I have listened to his music and I've been like, ooh, like I don't really like these lyrics. So it's,
Exactly. But when we're talking about some of the greatest rappers, I'm not going to exclude Kanye West from the conversation just because
right.
he said bad things, because I mean, his talent is undeniable.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know if that's weird to say, but like, I mean, he simply has had a big impact on the hip hop community. And so I think
Yeah.
that when you're talking conversation of the goats and stuff like that, he like shouldn't just be excluded from these lists. However,
Mm-hmm.
once again, I don't really listen to Kanye West music, or I don't actively search it out, at least because I don't align with a lot of his morals and a lot of his beliefs. And I think that
Mm-hmm.
when creating art, your personal morals and your just view of the world can be very apparent in your art.
Right.
Therefore, I don't typically listen to artists that I feel super unaligned with when it comes to morals and just a view of the world. Like, I feel like I do connect with artists who I share just beliefs with.
Right. A specific example that I usually think of when I think of like separating art from the artist is Morgan Wallen. I'm I don't like I don't necessarily like him or his music. Like I don't listen to him. But that was just a big one that was happening at the time a few years ago of like because he like said the N-word or something like that. I don't know if he did anything else, but
Yeah.
he has technically like been canceled because he said the N-word like multiple times in some videos or something like that. So
Drunk words or sober thoughts is all I'm going to say, but
yeah, so I don't even know if he was drunk. Like I think it was just like normal
like, is that
videos.
justifiable?
So like but I already just don't like his music because I don't like country music. So like I've never listened to him anyway.
Right.
But I feel like he's kind of wasn't he in a song recently? Like I don't know. I feel like there's a popular song recently. But
I don't know.
my
The
point
internet
is that
definitely moved
like
on because he was on like everybody's Spotify Wrapped, I swear.
exactly.
So.
That's what I'm saying is like I don't think. Oh yeah, he was in I Had Some Help from Post Malone.
Oh.
So like, I'm just saying like yeah, he hasn't been,
Fully canceled. Like he's
Right.
being revived.
yeah. But yeah, like I feel like we touched on pretty much everything, right?
Right. I don't know. I do think about a lot, like if I were to be canceled, like what would happen and stuff like that. And, I mean, I simply like, I don't know. I think I like to be very honest on the internet and stuff like that. So I think
Yeah.
that like, I definitely have no desire to like make excuses or stuff like that. Like, I think I would just be straight up. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think that
Yeah. Well,
I mean, just like in real life, you need to own up to your actions and own up to the things that you say. So
well, and like,
therefore,
what would
I
you
don't see
ever?
the point of sugarcoating it.
Yeah, but also like, what would I feel like? I feel like neither of us. I feel like both of us are smart enough to never say anything that could remotely get us canceled on the internet.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, right? Just kidding.
No, I don't think so. I mean, what would we even say that would get us canceled? Like I think we're fine.
Right. I mean, I feel like our podcast is like simply our opinions, and I feel like we try to clarify when we don't fully know something, So it's like,
yeah.
I don't know. I do think that we should get to a point on the internet where it's like you can freely share your opinions, and like you can learn to disagree with somebody, and just like be okay with that. But also like disagreeing with somebody doesn't mean like I think so and so should die, and it's like, well, that's your opinion. It's like, okay, that's kind of an outrageous thing to say.
Yeah.
So that's my final thoughts on that. What about you?
I think that cancel culture is slowly going away, personally. Like, I think that people are starting to realize that it's kind of stupid to, like, fully cancel somebody. Like, maybe we should give them, just treat them like a human and, like, allow them to, like, redeem themselves. Because everybody makes mistakes, and almost canceling somebody makes it so that like you're not opening a door for them to improve. Like if you cancel them, maybe they're not going to improve. They're just going to be like, okay, well, they didn't like what I had to say, so I'm just going to live my life not on the internet. Whereas if you like call them out, but give them another chance. I think that's just how people can actually improve.
Yeah. Honestly, my final thing too is like also stop pressuring people into talking about certain things or posting apologies, because let their true colors shine. If you tell people to like speak up on something and then suddenly they're like, guess what? It's probably not the most authentic. So it's like, let people show you who they are.
Yeah, that's very true. Like,
And that's kind of the tea of it. But
'cause it's
there's
not
like
gonna
an
be
active
authentic if you
college
just
tour
force
going
it.
on, and my mom keeps texting me. She literally just said, if you don't come down here, I'm logging off. So I have to go. But thank you so much for listening. If you guys enjoyed this episode or watching, subscribe to the YouTube channel or follow us on Spotify and leave a review, or any other platform that you're listening on. Follow at The Celebrity Pod on Instagram to stay engaged with us, learn about new updates and fun little activities and interactive things we post on the story. Hashtag telepathy is over party. That's all I'm going to say. See you next Tuesday.
That's funny. Bye, guys.
Bye.